Playing through each Assassin's Creed game, you often get to understand what motivates each individual assassin and why they act in the way that they do. This obviously extends towards their dedication to the Creed. While many assassins throughout the series have exhibited intense and pure dedication to their cause, there have been some assassins that were not so dedicated. Either way, of all the assassins in the franchise, Altair has to be the most dedicated of the bunch. Altair's life, story, and work all poured into the Creed. It was all he knew since he was a young child, and it was what he died for. It's a pretty deep subject though, so let's get into the video. But before I start the analysis, don't forget to like and subscribe with notifications set to all so you never miss out on another upload. Altair ibn La Ahad was born on January 11, 1165 in the city of Masyaf, which is in modern-day Syria. The son of an assassin, Altair's mother died while giving birth to him. Altair's father, Umar, was executed by the Saracens during the first siege of Masyaf for killing a Saracen nobleman. During Umar's execution, Altair called out to his father, but was prevented from seeing the death by another assassin named Ahmad Sufyan. Ahmad had revealed Umar's name to these Saracens while being tortured, which was what led to the execution in the first place. Crushed by enduring guilt, Ahmad goes to Altair later, apologizes for his weakness, and then offs himself with a dagger. Altair was only 11 at the time when he witnessed all of this. Honestly, it's a pretty horrific and tragic backstory, but it's also important because it sets up why Altair would be so dedicated to the Creed. I will get into the psychological stuff later in the video though. Altair told Al-Muallim what happened, and Al-Muallim instructed Altair to not tell anybody about the events. Al-Muallim also told Altair to hide the truth of Ahmad's death and to not tell Ahmad's son Abbas what happened. Abbas and Altair would join the order and train to become assassins. Altair took up Al-Muallim, the mentor of the assassins, as a type of father figure. Al-Muallim recognized Altair's potential from when Altair was young and decided to train the young boy. Abbas and Altair would be relatively good friends for quite some time. However, their relationship would sour when Altair tells Abbas about Ahmad's death. This causes Abbas to hate Altair and accuse him of lying in an attempt to shame his father's name. The two fight and Abbas nearly kills Altair. Altair lies and says that he had lied about Ahmad's death. For the incident, Altair and Abbas were imprisoned for a month, but Abbas was forced to undergo another year in training while Altair graduated to the rank of assassin. By the age of 25, Altair reached the rank of Master Assassin, the youngest at the time. Now, I'm going to skip ahead in Altair's life to the events of the first Assassin's Creed game, as this is going to be the center of most of my analysis. Altair starts out in the game as a very arrogant man who seems to be a little too secure about his abilities. However, this arrogance lands him in hot water, and he gets a fellow assassin killed, another named Malik amputated, and the Templars nearly gain the Apple of Eden. Al-Muallim decides to punish Altair and send him back down to the rank of a novice. At this point, Altair is dispatched on several missions across cities like Jerusalem, Acre, and Damascus to take out 9 Templar targets. For each successful target eliminated, Altair would regain weapons and part of his rank in the order. Altair does what Al-Muallim tells him, waiting to hear answers from Al-Muallim about what he was taking out all of these specific people for. Eventually, Al-Muallim reveals to Altair that they are Templars, and to Altair's later shock, Al-Muallim also turns out to be a member of these Templars. By the end of Assassin's Creed, Altair kills Al-Muallim, which is something quite difficult to imagine, considering the fact that Al-Muallim was the closest thing Altair had to a father. Now, he wasn't a good father or anything, but Altair still held Al-Muallim in a high regard and position. Either way, the events of Assassin's Creed do reveal something. Altair is, at heart, very fully dedicated to the creed that he was raised on. All Altair knew from a young age was that he had to work in the darkness to serve the light. It was what he worked all his days for. He spent his waking moments pushing towards an end goal of becoming a master assassin. To do so by the age of 25, which was a first, shows that Altair took that objective and end goal and made it his entire line of focus. When Al-Muallim told him to go take out 9 Templar targets, Altair went to take out the Templar targets. He didn't protest or argue about the morality of it or if it was right or not. He didn't second guess his job. Altair simply took the task, used his stealth, took out the targets in the way that he learned an assassin should. When Altair killed Al-Muallim, Abbas accused Altair of trying to start a coup and take over the assassins. Abbas takes the Apple of Eden and tries to essentially kill Altair. However, Altair manages to stop Abbas and he forgives any of the assassins that rebelled. He convinced them Al-Muallim was guilty and that he would be able to lead the order. Altair would go on to shape the order in the ways that he saw fit. He dedicated his elder years to working on the order and fixing it so that it was strong in the way he believed was best. Altair encouraged different techniques to combating Templars, and he got rid of the finger-removing ritual, redesigning the hidden blade to not require it to function anymore. Altair and the assassins would continue to try to stop the Templars, and the rest of Altair's life was dedicated to this cause. Even when Altair married Maria and had children, he still worked towards the bettering of the assassins, and he worked towards pushing the strength and influence of the creed he so strongly believed in. Even when one of Altair's sons died, and even when Altair's wife died, Altair still worked towards fixing the creed. Even when Abbas tried to retake the order and drove Altair out, he tried. However, Altair would eventually slip into a state of near depression and obsessive hatred for the Apple of Eden that would push whoever was left of his family away from him. Altair lived in Alamut for several years, a location we're finally going to get to see more of in Assassin's Creed Mirage when that comes out, but eventually in 1247, Altair would decide to go retake the order from Abbas. Now a much older and more wise and experienced man, Altair is determined to fix the order and stop Abbas from corrupting it further. He enlists the help of a man named Tazim as-Saif and any remaining loyalists to take the order again. Tazim as-Saif also turns out to be the son of a man named Malik, who was the amputated man I mentioned earlier. Malik had hated Altair for a long time but would eventually grow to be on good terms with Altair. Finally, Abbas and Altair have their final encounter where Altair uses his hidden gun to kill Abbas. Abbas still believed to his last moments that Altair lied about Ahmad Sufyan committing suicide and that he would find the truth in the afterlife. Altair then began to fill the library under Masyaf, which becomes a central point in Assassin's Creed Revelations. He filled it with all the knowledge he gained over the years. Altair also began to spread the order out across the world, believing that it should not only be present in Masyaf. The Mongols would eventually attack Masyaf and Altair fought them off with the Apple of Eden. After this, Altair bids his son Darim farewell and locks himself inside the library, which was also a vault, along with the Apple of Eden, and would die peacefully at the age of 92. It was Altair's legacy that helped to motivate the order for years to come. Ezio had a great deal of respect for Altair and would use much of Altair's codex to build weapons with the help of Leonardo da Vinci and locate the hidden Vatican vault. Altair is the most dedicated assassin that we have seen in the series. Altair was motivated by a true belief and faith in the creed that he was raised on. We know that other assassins like Ezio were dedicated, sure, but Altair's dedication and steadfast work on the Order was what allowed for it to survive on in the future. Other assassins are not as dedicated as Altair. For example, Arnaud Dorian was not truly a major believer in the creed, he mostly wanted to find Delacier's murderer and clear his name. Connor was mainly motivated by his hatred for Charles Lee, the death of his mother, and the siege of his village. You could try to argue that Bayek was really dedicated because it was his work that founded the Hidden Ones, which would later become the Assassins. But even then, Aya was a bit more dedicated to the cause of the Hidden Ones than him. And even then, Altair worked not out of a desire for revenge against anyone. If he did, he would have hunted down the people that executed his father. He would have tried to kill Abbas for what Ahmad Sufyan did to his father. Rather, Altair's motivations were purely his dedication to the creed. This is what makes Altair such a dedicated assassin, and in my eyes, the most dedicated of the series. Without Altair, who knows what would have happened to the Order and to the creed they followed. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed that video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe with notifications set to all so you never miss out on a single upload. Let me know what you think about who the most dedicated assassin is in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my military sci-fi fantasy series and my newspaper. The links to those and my socials are in the description below. And until next time, Symbiosis out.